What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode review for ReZero Season 3. Fuck, whatever. What episode are we on again?
Episode 15.
Yeah, so this is episode 15, and with me, as always, I have Blue Spade.
Yeah. Well, we're at the penultimate episode of the season already, which is kind of weird because it's like I said, it's a very really short season in comparison to the first two seasons that we got. Um so yeah, we finally go back to what happens with the fight. Well, with Julius and the others fighting. Well, there's two versions of Gluttony. I think first one is named Lie, and the other one is named Roy. If I can remember which one they were
I
fighting.
think the one they were fighting was Lie. The guy with the guy who's wearing a shirt, that's Roy, from what I
Okay.
understand.
Um, yeah. So of course, they all end up finding out the hard way uh, that both Lion and Roy can consume people's memories, or they're the existence of certain people that they each consume.
Mm.
And unfortunately, according to Roy, he ended up consuming Julius's brother's existence. I think it was it Joshua, uh, which of course Julius is really thrown off guard against his fight against Roy, because he doesn't remember uh, anything about his brother, and Roy just repeatedly just taunts him about like his brother's former existence, if you can call it
Well,
that.
it seems like
And
every time he consumes somebody, that he gets their memories, so he knows like everything about them.
yeah, which yeah, like and it's completely just throws Julius and everybody else off guard to the point where he just uses it to his advantage during the fight.
It makes you
And
wonder though, like how many people that Lie, I guess, or Roy has consumed, that
yeah,
nobody remembers, because I mean every time he consumes somebody, their existence gets erased from the world. So I mean, I
yeah,
guess Julius might not even have remembered that he had like a sibling or anything. So uh,
yeah, it's all out of nowhere. I mean, it's more or less the same with what happened to Rem when her existence just got completely consumed. And of course, we already know that Subaru is like the only one who can remember everybody else, but everybody else uh who used to know them is like, yeah, they're not going to remember them
mhm.
unless Subaru says so. And then of course there's the continuation between the fight with Al against Capella. I mean, throughout the entirety of the fight, like Al has had the, I guess, has the advantage over Capella on numerous occasions, but no matter what he tries, he can't kill her. She'll just keep regenerating, like no matter what he tries to do to her, whether like he you know chops her head off or just cuts her to pieces numerous times. But she'll just come back over and over again.
Yeah,
And of
I,
course,
I want to say too, like
Capella,
the animation for this is pretty grotesque looking, just the way she reforms herself.
yeah, it's like she has like rats just coming up to her face and then just reforming her eyes. I don't know.
Well, she took the form
It's
of a
just,
rat, and then she reformed herself through all the rats.
yeah, it's just like she just uses the most grotesque way of, I guess you could say, she's reconstituting herself in front of her enemies.
Mm.
I guess in a way to throw intentionally just throw them off. Of course, by the end, she decides to escape the fight. Uh, but not before Felix demands, that she I guess in a way, she like Felix wants like Crush to be cured of her dragon's blood condition. But of course, like Capella stated in previous episodes, she can't. There's nothing she can really do about it because she doesn't have any idea how her powers work either. And so she ends up like escaping in battle before, but not before, like I think she ends up escaping with one of the gospel books.
Yeah. Well, she also
Or-
says that if she were to die, then the dragon's blood wouldn't be affected. I don't think. It still would be like affecting Crush.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, the only person who can really technically cure Crush would be Subaru, because we seen what he did for Crush when he ended up absorbing that. But of course, Crush doesn't want Subaru to do that. So
Yeah,
there's
because he would
like,
just end up
so that's
transferring it
pretty
to
much,
himself.
yeah. And of course, she before she leaves, like she summons like all the demi beasts that. Well, you could say like all the demi beasts are like former people of the city who got turned into beasts, and of course Reinhardt arrives to take them all out soon afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we cut back to the fight with I think I think it was Lie.
Oh, was it Lai?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lai and Otto. Um, yeah, we get to the point where Lai is about to, I guess, consume his existence too, but Beatrice arrives at the last minute, and then um, and of course she arrives to this to stop whatever Lai is about to do to Otto. But Lai, reveals that he already knows who Beatrice is, and then he ends up taunting her by mimicking Rem. So yeah, so yeah, yeah. So pretty much like we kind of end things off on somewhat of a bad note for like one group of like of the cast going up
Yeah.
against the witch.
Well, he did also consume another like one of the people that were helping him earlier, and he obtained like and then like the other person who I guess was I think is his friend or his brother, like he completely forgot about him, and like he had
Yeah,
all the memories of his friend, so like he taunted him with that. Uh, so I'm guessing like even though like Lai is taunting Beatrice with the Rem's mannerisms, like she's still probably not gonna know who Rem is, but uh, she will recognize like that he knows things that he shouldn't. I guess the things that only Rem would know. Um,
yeah.
so
But of course, this is gonna set Subaru off because
yeah,
he's the only one who remembers Rem. Uh, but yeah, so we leave things off like, uh, I guess you could say this would be the conclusion of the fight in the city of Pristella, and now next week is we're gonna be seeing the aftermath of that battle.
yeah. I thought it was a good episode though. I mean, I thought the most interesting aspect was just the like some of the reveals we got, mostly having to do with Lai and Roy, and like it's sort of just seeing firsthand, I guess, how their ability, well, how his ability work. Even though we already knew what he could do, but it was just interesting to see like it sort of expanded on like just I mean maybe just how many other people he might have consumed, and it makes you question like how many mostly maybe important people he could have consumed that have just been forgotten by everybody else.
Yeah, and because and speaking of that, like we don't even know what happened to Joshua.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like whether or not he killed him, or he just like or he just consumed only his memories. So he's just like wandering about, or maybe he's in a similar comatose state like Ren
Yeah, that's the
is.
other thing. He might not have completely like consumed them to where they're just dead. They might just be like Rem, where they're only
Yeah,
their memories have been consumed.
yeah, most likely. Uh, but yeah, it was a good episode. Still, I mean, it's yeah. I mean, I'm glad they didn't hold back on. Uh, I guess you could say like some of the most disturbing moments in regards to the Capella scenes.
Yeah.
I mean, we already knew like she was like I mean her methods of like I guess of reconstituting herself is like a bit disturbing on its own. But yeah, she just she keeps taking it to another level.
Yeah, I mean she's legit pretty terrifying, just with the way she sort of reforms herself and that she can like transform or shapeshift into other people. Um,
Yeah.
But yeah, so that all being said, guys, until next time, we will see you all later.